Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. This is going to be your daily cryptocurrency market update, the most valuable cryptocurrency market updates on YouTube. We're going to be getting into a number of things. That was said with confidence. We're going to be getting into a number of things. Remember, these market updates are just to give you a general kind of feel and consensus, looking at cross-market analysis, looking at the economic conditions of where we are, where the cryptocurrency market finds itself on this sort of financial ocean. And we have been largely out. Really, the best trade that we made last year was getting out the markets, which is a trade, you know, if that's how you think about things. But we are looking to get back in. And I think there's a lot of bearish sentiment. You know, we are doing daily technical Bitcoin updates. And our target did indeed get hit perfectly before we had a pullback. This was on a day where everything was extremely bearish. If we look at Tesla, we can see what a day it had. What a fall from grace. Tesla is at lows, ladies and gentlemen. You know, people think that crypto is a scam and that the reason it's gone down is because it's a scam and it's a nothing burger. We're here. We are a blockchain crusader. We're here to tell you that blockchain is the future of finance. Not just finance, it's going to implement and implement itself and find itself in many areas that are outside of finance, identity, just really how we transact value around the globe. But everything's gone down due to the macroeconomic situation that we are in. We know, and we've been watching the dollar. We've been looking at this falling wedge. We've now broken out of it. It's more apparent, I think, on many of what we were also looking at, your pairs. We know the dollar and Bitcoin story, but what happened yesterday that was of interest to me, and we're going to get into a number of views. So this is the effective Fed funds rate, which is now at 4.1. Is our yield curve potentially, 2-year yield curve, potentially telling us that this is now topped or going to top round about the 4.7, 4.6 region for the Fed funds rate. But what was of interest to me is, let me find it, guys. This is the 30-day Fed funds futures. Okay, and you can see that yesterday you had a damn sharp drop in people speculating on how high interest rates were going to go. So you can see actually, the day started off, the dollar was it wasn't the strongest, but it was up. The markets were up generally, the FTSE was up, the US futures market was up, and the cryptocurrency market was up. And then we had this really sharp drop. It might help if I put it on a line chart in the 30-day Fed funds future. So when this goes down, it means that people are speculating and pricing on interest rates going up. Now, why is this so important? Well, we know this entire bear market has been caused as a result of interest rates, meaning that there has to be a repricing of liquidity and where it's going and where it's now not going to go and what's going to happen there. And this, of course, is Bitcoin. We can just pull up the S&P, but we'll delete it very quickly. We can see that markets have been led thus far via interest rate hikes. They're very much in sync. And yesterday, we had a pretty sharp drop in the Fed funds, 30-day Fed futures, which is basically when it goes down, it means interest rates are going up. It's an inverse chart, basically. This isn't the actual Fed funds rate. This is more what people are speculating on. And they're now pricing in harsher interest rate hikes, which means less liquidity in markets and more sort of a reallocation. And we saw the stock market get smashed on the back end of this. We saw Apple get killed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm expecting to find a little bit of support here. The pre-market for the stock market is up. We have actually been saying and sort of singing with the turn of January, yesterday's video, we looked at the January effect. In December, people, certainly at the end of December, will sell to get tax benefits. It's a tax write-off, essentially, if they sell at a loss, and then they'll just basically buy back again in January. And this could often mean there's a change in direction. So we actually said, and we will do a daily Bitcoin update where we look at things. We're more biased that there's going to be a bit of a run here. The problem that we have is there is still a yield curve inversion that we're still yet to have the fallout of. So I'm just going to give you this, and we're discussing some really interesting things in my Patreon that potentially may be life-changing for some. And if you want to find out more about that, there's a link in the description to my Patreon. You get a wide variety of benefits. But I think you're in this kind of a period here. You're essentially here. I think you've got this, and then this, which is probably what the yield curve is predicting to come, and which will be probably the final flush out of markets. But that's enough on that. So the stock market got killed off yesterday. Bitcoin showed relative strength, and the cryptocurrency market showed relative strength. two options there. Maybe it's a lack of interest in trading the market, or maybe it's actually just got relative strength against it. We still do have, and we are still in a recession globally. We continue to see mortgage demands plunge, and we have always stated that an environment where this is the case, it's very easy to call bull markets when the liquidity and the money printer is going brr. When it's doing the opposite of that, it's very easy to call a bear market, guys. It's all a game of liquidity investing, and we are ultimately waiting for our opportunity to reinvest in the markets in the expectation that the Fed are going to have to come in and pump things. And really what we're waiting for is something breaking. But is there potentially a scenario where something doesn't break and we have more of a soft landing, which nobody is expecting at the moment? Potentially. This is all stuff you have to factor in, and nobody else talks about this. Everybody just suffers from recency bias. When everyone's super bearish, it just makes me be like, oh, I don't want to play that game anymore. Just like when everyone's super bullish up here. So we are trying to work out what's happening. This is stuff that I'll be discussing in great length with my Patreons, and we'll be taking action accordingly. But we are still in a demand destructive time period. The Fed have still got very high interest rates. The annual payments on that are just insane, or the monthly payments on that are just insane. And that's from a federal level, let alone a corporate, private or personal level. It's a lot of money has to go back in to fill the debt markets. And I do still think the dollar reinflates. I just think it's been a little bit weaker for a little bit longer. But we will see. So this is just a very general market update. The overall cryptocurrency market, and go and watch yesterday's video where we looked at a central bank. The Bank for International Settlements coming out and saying that they are going to allow central banks to hold 2% in more risky cryptos or type 2 cryptos. And we looked at the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve, the People's Bank of China, the ECB, and the Bank of Japan. And they had about $28 trillion worth of value on their balance sheets. And that's just them. We're talking, and that's just one element of people that are going to be buying when this market gets recognized for what it is, and that is the new asset to be involved in the new kind of financial system. And what I mean there is I don't think Bitcoin, I'm actually not that bullish on the long-term trajectory of Bitcoin. I think it will do well as a speculative asset, but really for me, it's all about investing in things that have real usage and utility, like things like Chainlink, Ethereum, Cosmos, so on and so forth. But we'll cover this when the time is right in regards to what we're investing in. So again, this is just a very general cryptocurrency market update. It is a very interesting time period because in terms of coin market cap, you are back at where 2018's high. And I would expect some sort of reaction here, potentially more so than we've seen thus far. But we will see, there's a lot still going on. I think it's too early to call a bottom for the cryptocurrency market generally, just simply because of, these are just two things that we've brought up. We still have this really horrible, nasty yield curve to compete with. So this is certainly going to be interesting, in my opinion. Every single yield curve that we had has accurately predicted doom and gloom. I think we're ultimately just waiting for this to happen. And this is probably one of the steeper yield curves, certainly the steepest yield curve on this chart. What's the fallout of that going to be? And I would like to not be in the markets when that fallout actually takes place. But trying to time that is very hard. The signs are already there. But when exactly that's going to happen and what's the sort of risk to reward at the moment. So this is an ever-changing landscape. We got 2022 generally right. Will we get 2023 right? Well, that's for me to try and work out and you guys to be the judges of. But hopefully you're all on board and looking forward to what I think is going to be a very prosperous year for all of us. Certainly the subscribers and the followers of this channel. And my stance is still that, I don't really necessarily think now's the time to be investing in the cryptocurrency market. But there's more going in your favor in terms of being an investor at this point than there was at any of the points that we've highlighted previously. The whole way down, by the way, guys, we've been, other than, okay, I'll be totally honest, we got this wrong. We're actually still relatively bullish here, and we're wrong as a result of it. I'm never going to get everything right, guys, and that's, I think, really what separates me from lots of other channels out there. I'm not trying to be perfect, because I know I'm not. We're all humans. We're all flawed in one way or another. But the key, I really think, to progressing is understanding that and working on each other's strengths and weaknesses. And I think one of my strengths is certainly being quite good at predicting what things are doing and having a good general understanding of the overall picture. So that's all I've got for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, like us, always appreciate it. So as a comment, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen.